Imagine an artwork designed to vanish, not lost, not corrupted, not forgotten, but erased intentionally. A digital masterpiece that fades pixel by pixel. An NFT programmed to self-destruct. An AI-generated visual with an expiration date written into its code. When the final byte disappears and the screen goes dark, what remains? Is the value gone with it? Or does impermanence transform the art into something even more powerful? This is ephemeral art, and it's redefining what it means to create, to own, and to remember. The fleeting nature of digital creation. Digital art was once sold on a promise, permanence, blockchains that would last forever, immutable records, proof of existence beyond time. But reality is less stable. Servers fail, platforms disappear, file formats become unreadable. Entire digital collections have already vanished, not through intent but neglect. This phenomenon has a name: digital rot. Storage media degrades. Software becomes obsolete. Even permanent systems rely on fragile infrastructure. And now, artists are embracing this fragility on purpose. Art that chooses to die. A new movement is emerging. Digital artworks designed to degrade, to expire, to self-destruct after a single viewing or a single moment in time. Some dissolve like Snapchat stories. Others fade slowly, decaying over weeks or years. Some vanish the moment they are sold. This isn't an accident, it's a statement, a rejection of endless duplication, a challenge to right-click Save As, a refusal to exist forever in infinite copies. In a world obsessed with preservation, these artists ask a radical question. What if art's power lies in its disappearance? A long history of disappearing art. This isn't entirely new. Long before digital screens, art embraced impermanence. Performance art existed only in the moment. Land art was shaped by wind, water, and erosion. Sand mandalas were painstakingly created only to be swept away. These works were never meant to last. They were meant to be experienced. Ephemeral digital art is part of this lineage, not a rebellion against art history, but a continuation of it. Scarcity through vanishing. Here's the paradox. When something disappears, it becomes more valuable. Scarcity has always shaped art markets, but impermanence introduces a new kind of rarity. Not only one exists, but none exist anymore. Collectors don't just buy ownership, they buy participation in a moment. And when that moment ends, what remains isn't an object, it's memory, echoes and residues. When digital art fades, it doesn't vanish completely, it leaves traces. Screenshots shared online, conversations sparked on social media, critical essays written after the fact. The artwork itself is gone, but its impact persists. Archives don't preserve the piece, they preserve the idea. documentation becomes the artifact. In this way, ephemeral art transforms observers into participants and memory into medium, ownership without object. But this raises unsettling questions. If you own something designed to disappear, what do you actually own? A record? An experience? A certificate of having witnessed something that no longer exists? Legal systems weren't built for vanishing property. Intellectual rights blur when the original work is gone, and ownership becomes philosophical rather than physical. This isn't a flaw, it's the point. The psychology of loss. There's something deeply human about fleeting beauty. A sunset doesn't last, yet it moves us. A concert ends, yet it stays with us. Ephemeral digital art creates a similar emotional tension. Knowing it will disappear heightens attention. Focus sharpens. Presence deepens. You don't scroll past it, you stay. The loss is building, and paradoxically, that loss makes the moment more meaningful. Does art live in memory? So where does art truly reside? In files? On servers? On chains of encrypted data? Or in the minds of those who experienced it? If meaning survives disappearance, then permanence was never the requirement. Perhaps art was never about lasting forever, but about changing someone, briefly and profoundly, beyond the bytes. Ephemeral digital art forces us to redefine legacy, not as endurance, but as influence. Future technologies may try to recreate fleeting works, simulations, re-experiences, echoes of moments meant to vanish, but even then, the original moment remains unrepeatable, and that may be its greatest truth. Closing reflection. In a world obsessed with saving everything, ephemeral art dares to let go. It reminds us that disappearance isn't failure, it's transformation. That meaning doesn't require permanence, and that what fades can still matter. So the next time something beautiful disappears, ask yourself, did it really vanish, or did it simply move into memory?